Good afternoon. My name is Ameena Buallay, PhD student in my first year. I will starting my paper with the question, do female members on board lead to sustainable integrated report? After the financial crisis in 2008, firms have launched several reform actions to enhance the quality of corporate governance. These actions come as a change in their business reporting, which is not addressed to shareholders, but also considers the market labors, business parties, and society. These actions help to overcome the shortcoming of conventional approach to disclosure by extending the concept of financial disclosure to sustainability and ecosystem. The adoption of corporate governance practices may overcome and give new chances for sustainable report disclosure. While Al-Charni in 2004 argued that the disclosure and corporate governance are known to be the most significant mechanism that reduce hiding and manipulating information related to the firm's financial and non-financial situation, Tergens in 2009 argued that the effect of gender diversity on board lead to effective governance. From that two facts, our question is arised. Do female members on board lead to sustainable report? Our gap is that the current theoretical studies pretend to be inefficient so far in determining how board diversity affect the sustainable reportings, taking into consideration different regions and different cultures, as well different environments. We aim at investigating empirically the capability of gender diversity to support sustainable integrated report disclosure, which has environmental, social, and governance practices. This study will improve our understanding of corporate governance as practices as a basis for scout about how sustainable reports are disclosed, and this study can use to present a successful model for firms to enhance and concentrate more on gender diversity to enhance the sustainable disclosure. Also, this study may bring legitimacy to the International Integrated Reporting Council and Governance Code. Reviewing the literature, as you see here, the positive side of gender diversity weighted more than the negative side. Some studies say that board gender diversity enhance communication. Other ones say that female board better resistance to corporate risks. Moreover, the board gender diversity or the female board are efficient in controlling the stakeholder and managers, and they are stricter monitors, and this will lead to decrease the agency problem. On the other side, there are two studies says that women on board cause communication problems. Narrowing the literature, on the positive sides, there are studies says that female board strengthen the corporate social responsibility rating, and they are facilitate more informed decisions, and female board are more sensitive to corporate social responsibility and environmental issues. Another two studies that empirically says there is positive relationship between gender diversity and reporting, and there is a positive effect between board gender diversity and the likelihood of voluntary disclosure. On the negative side, two studies found that there is no significant influence of gender diversity on disclosure, and there is non-linear relationship between voluntary disclosure and gender diversity. We found two theories that are linked the governance and sustainable reporting, the resource dependency theory, and stakeholders agent theory. The resources dependency theory suggests that those who are responsible for recruiting a director seek particular characteristic in new appointees to complement the existing board and to avoid connection to new resources to secure the future for firms. However, the stakeholder agency theory, which is a new one that combined the agency theory with stakeholder theory. This theory states that sustainable information is expected to reduce information asymmetries and agency costs that emerge between stakeholder and companies. Oops. Then we develop our hypothesis in line with the previous empirical studies and theories supporting both gender diversity and disclosure. We conclude that diversity can lower the conflict of interest and may lead to more sustainable strategy. So our hypothesis, female members in the board increase ESG disclosure. We mean by ESG, environmental, social, and governance disclosure. It's stuck. This is our study model. We use gender diversity as an independent variable. I group the gender diversity into three groups. One female board member between 1 to 20%. Another group is between 21 to 50% of female. And the last one, more than 50%. And the dependent variable is the sustainable disclosure. I got these informations from Bloomberg database. It is environmental disclosure, corporate social disclosure, and governance disclosure. I control my study in two types of control variables: the bank specific, which is financial leverage and total assets, and then to control the variation between countries, I use macroeconomics variables, which is unemployment, GDP, and governance. I used poll data from top 100 oil producer. I take the top 100 oil producer because they are different in region, different in culture, and different in religion maybe, and they will give us more clear result to fill our gap. I take 10 years from 2007 to 2016 for 2,116 listed banks to end up with 7,951 observations. And this is our linear model. Before I consider the linear model, I ran similar tests to check the validity of the data: normality, collinearity, autocorrelation, hetero, and stationarity. And all the results indicate that the model meets the condition of the linearity. The descriptive results shows that governance disclosure has the highest means, while followed by social governance, while the environment disclosure has the lowest mean. It is, we expect that banks has lower environmental disclosure because they are knowledge-based sector and high technology sector, and they are not similar to manufacture sector, so they disclose less information about environmental disclosure. And we found that the mean of female board is 13.6%. Then I make cross-country results. I group the countries according to Matt Rosenberg official 8 regional grouping of the world. We found that female board has highest number in Central America, followed by Australia and Europe, and the ESG disclosure is best in Australia, followed by Europe and South America. Excuse me, I got the same problem. Then I did advanced descriptive results. I found that when female member is between 21 to 50%, the environmental, social, and governance mean is higher. And the ESG and gender diversity is better in banks that are located in countries that ranked 26 to 75 in oil production. And the ESG and gender diversity mean is better in non-OPEC countries. Finally, the ESG and gender diversity is better in low financial leverage banks and high asset size. Then we move to empirical test. I did a causality test. I found that female board member is a greater cause of corporate governance disclosure. Then I did the correlation test. It is indicate that there is significant association at 1% level with all ESG indicators. And then for the model, we did the F-test. The results reveal that environmental, social, and governance model have high statistical significance and explanatory power. The regression result shows that environmental and social disclosure has positive association or relationship between female board category, that is 21 to 50%, both social and environmental disclosure, while the governance disclosure have positive relationship with two groups, the female board between 1 to 20% and female board between 21 to 50%. To clarify the result and connect it to our theory, align with the dependency theory, appointing female members may enhance company sustainable disclosure, as female directors may bring diverse knowledge, viewpoints, and experience, thus enhancing the sustainability disclosure. Moreover, the stakeholder agency theory claimed that more diversity in board will enhance the ability to disclose more information about the company, preventing it from disclosing self-information which is negatively affect the performance of the firm. As we noted from the result, the board gender diversity is weak. It is only 13, the mean was only 13.6. Therefore, we recommend the banks to pay more attention to board gender diversity as a contributor towards sustainability and sustainable disclosure. And as corporate governance is interdisciplinary field, we suggest that future research had to undertake in the sustainable performance nexus with governance practices like board independence and board size, which is supporting the field of governance and sustainability. Conducting this research has a few limitations. One of them is the absence of literatures offered the sustainable reporting associated with gender diversity. Finally, importantly, is that we take one sector, which is financial sector, and ignored others. Thank you.